Do you want to know how to register a domestic partnership and how to subsequently apply for the community card? Then pay attention to this video, as that is what I am going to explain. Hello everyone, I am Ricardo Cárdenas, a lawyer specializing in immigration and nationality law. And in today's video, I am going to explain how to register a domestic partnership from start to finish, assuming that one of the partners is foreign, okay? So, I am going to explain this because we have received a lot of inquiries. We receive inquiries every day asking how to register a domestic partnership. So that's why I thought of creating a video to make this information available to everyone, okay? So well, the first thing you need to know is that to establish a domestic partnership, to register the domestic partnership, you must be registered together. Then, on the other hand, you also need to keep in mind that the domestic partnership law is specific to each autonomous community. So there are 17 domestic partnership laws, and you will need to be aware of each of the laws of each autonomous community, depending on where we are going to register the domestic partnership. These domestic partnership laws of each autonomous community. 2. Make the registration, okay? It is not the same to do it in Madrid, for example, as in Andalusia, since in Madrid, to apply for the registration of a domestic partnership will require us to have been registered together for a year. But for example, in Andalusia, they will not ask for that. A declaration record before a notary stating that we want to establish a domestic partnership will suffice for us to register. Well, I will try to explain the procedure from the beginning to the end as clearly as possible so that it is clear to you. The first thing we need to do is be registered together. We need to be registered together without the same amendment, okay? And I will give you the example in Andalusia, although it is practically the same for all autonomous communities. Once we are registered together, the next thing we need to do is prepare the documentation. Okay? What is the documentation? Birth certificate and certificate of single status, or certificate of faith and status, which is what it is called here in Spain. These certificates are requested at the civil registry. If you are Spanish, you need to make an appointment. At your civil registry, request the certificate of single status and birth certificate at your civil registry, and the foreign partner will have to request the apostilled birth and single status certificates in their country of origin, apostilled, very important, or legalized. And if those documents are in a language other than Spanish, then they need to be translated. But please, have the translations done here in Spain, by a sworn translator in Spain, because many times people bring translated documents from abroad and then they are not valid here. Okay, once we have this documentation, next thing we need to do is create a declaration record. A declaration record before a notary where we state that we intend to enter into a domestic partnership. Okay, we go to the notary, to any notary office, request an appointment to create a domestic partnership deed, go to the notary and create that declaration record where both partners sign before the notary that they intend to enter into a domestic partnership. Of course, this is as long as do not meet the requirement of having been registered together for more than a year. If we have been registered together for more than a year, we no longer need to create this declaration record. The declaration record is in the case that we have been registered together for less than a year. Once we have this documentation, the birth certificate of both partners, the joint registration certificate, and the declaration of intentions, we will need to make an appointment at the Ministry of Health and Families. In Andalusia, for example, the application for the registration of a domestic partnership is submitted to the Ministry of Health and Families, right? You make an appointment, go, bring the documentation, and they give you a receipt, and approximately in 15 or 20 days, because it doesn't take longer depending on the province. But at most a month, you will receive the registration of the domestic partnership. Well, you are now legally registered as a domestic partnership. Now the next step would be the immigration office. You will need to apply for the community card for member of the partnership who is foreign. So, to apply for the community card, you must meet the requirements set by law, which are the joint registration certificate, the registration of the domestic partnership, and the economic means of the Spanish partner, which can be their employment contract and pay slips if the Spanish partner is working. If the Spanish partner is not working, a certificate of average bank balance is required, which I always advise to be approximately $10,000. Is that in the case where the community card is requested with financial means and not through an employment contract understood? If an employment contract is made with payslips, it's fine. But if it is with financial means, we will have to present the certificates of average bank balance. 1. Comprehensive private health insurance, contracted for the foreign partner. Can all these procedures be done electronically? I always recommend that you have a foreign affairs professional, an administrative manager specialized in foreign affairs, or a lawyer expert in immigration law. Submit your application electronically. Understood. The issue of registration, questing, gathering documentation, making the declaration before a notary, and registering the domestic partnership, you can all do those procedures yourselves if you want. But for immigration procedures, I always recommend going through a professional because the documentation needs to be reviewed very carefully. These are procedures that can take a long time, and the better the application is presented, the faster it will be processed. Once we submit the documentation to immigration online, I recommend doing it online. We have to wait for the government subdelegation, the immigration office in our province, to give us a favorable resolution. Once we have the favorable resolution, we can request an appointment at the police station for Guayas, okay? The appointment at the police station is requested online. You enter immigration appointment, fingerprint appointment, and you will need to bring Form X and the fingerprint fee paid. Okay. In addition to the passport and a photocopy of the passport, one photograph. With that documentation, go to the police station and complete the fingerprint procedure, okay? This is to obtain the card. Once you complete the fingerprinting process, you then have to go pick up the card, which takes approximately about 45 days here in Andalusia, okay? Once you have that card, it will be valid for 5 years, understood. After these 5 years, you will need to apply for the permanent card. We have another video on our YouTube channel and here on our website in our Immigration Expert video blog where I explain how to apply for the permanent card, okay? How to apply for the 10-year permanent card, which also has its complexities, but I will leave a separate video for you to watch. Perhaps I have explained a bit quickly how the whole process of registering a domestic partnership works, but you can always watch the video again and see phase by phase how I explain it to you, okay? And in any case, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact immigration experts, contact us, and we are sure we can help you.